总理您好，我是新华社记者。这些年，我国的营商环境虽然有所改善，市场主体大幅增长，企业办事也方便了许多，但各种干扰仍然不少。请问，在当前情况下，政府在优化营商环境、激发市场活力和创造力方面还会做哪些努力？谢谢。
Xinhua News Agency. Recent years have seen steady improvement in China's business climate, as evidenced by a surge in market entities and easier access to government services for enterprises. However, various disturbances to business activity still exist. What more will the government do to improve the business climate and better stimulate market vitality and public creativity?
近10年啊，中国国务院每年都要召开一次全国性的推进放管服改革、优化营商环境的会议。我也注意到，今年开年第1年，许多地方都突出改善营商环境的主题来开会。可以说啊，放管服改革是为市场主体改良生长的土壤，减税降费则是为他们浇肥浇水。大众创业万众创新是要推动更多的市场主体能够生根发芽。只要我们把人民的创造力发挥出来，把市场主体的活力激发出来，大家可以想象这个经济的生动局面啊。但是这必须进行刀刃向内的改革，不能让政府部门围绕着自己的权力在转，要让市场主体层出不穷，生机勃勃。
Over the past 10 years, each year the State Council will hold a nationwide working conference on the reform of government functions and improvement of China's business climate. I have also noted that improving business climate has also been high on the agenda of the first meetings of many local governments in the new year. By reforming government functions, we are like improving the soils for the growth of market entities. Our policy of tax and fee reductions is like applying furniture, fertilizer, and water, and the initiative of mass entrepreneurship and innovation also helps market entities to take root and further grow. By leveraging the creativity of the general public and the vitality of market entities, we will be able to bring a lot of vitality to China's economic growth. This requires the government pursues self-targeted reform to see that government power is not about departmental or other interests, but to help market entities to flourish.
触动利益是比触动灵魂要难，但是正贵有恒。这些年，我们持续推进市场化改革，推进放管服改革，有1000多项行政许可被下放或取消，非行政许可退出历史舞台。过去办企业要几十天的时间，多次上百天，现在在全国范围内平均办企业4天，最少的地方1天，而且大约90%的政务服务是网上办、掌上办 异地办、不见面办，实际上这是在打破利益的藩篱，是惠企利民，也突破了传统的思维。惠企利民的措施，我们会继续推进下去。
Shaking up vested interests could be more difficult than touching the depths of souls. In recent years, we have ensured the consistency in our policies. We have been pressing ahead with market-oriented reforms and the reform of the government's own functions. For example, we have either cancelled or delegated to lower-level authorities some 1,000 administrative approval items. The non-administrative approval requirement was made a thing of the past. In the past, it took several dozen days or even up to 100 days to open a business. But now it takes only 4 days or just 1 day in some places. Currently, some 90% of government services can be accessed interprovincially, online or through cell phone apps. We are doing all these to upset or break down the thickets of vested interests and changing the way of thinking of the government in exercising governance so as to bring greater benefits to companies and the people, and we will continue to do so in the future.
这些年，通过营商环境不断改善，我国市场主体已经达到1.5亿户，比10年前净增了1亿户，都是民营企业，都是社会的民间的投资，而且其中个体工商户也达到1亿户，可不要小看个体工商户，它是一头连着众多人的生计，一头连着大众的消费。我在政协讨论的时候，那些企业家就说，如果没有小微企业和个体工商户打通微细血管，那大中企业甚至国有央企都动不起来。
By improving the business climate, in recent years, we have seen that the number of market entities in China has reached 150 million, an increase of 100 million over 10 years ago. Most of these market entities are privately held firms. There is some 100 million self-employed households who must not be underestimated because they support the livelihoods of many families, and they also help to meet consumer demand. In my discussions with business leaders, they told me that it is those very micro and small firms and self-employed households who are playing a significant role in supporting the circulation of the economy. Otherwise, without them, even big companies, even state-owned enterprises will be hamstrung.
大家到经济发展好的地方可以看一看，那里都是改革力度大，营商环境好，市场主体多，所以经济蓬蓬勃勃。当然，我多次强调，放管是并行的，放不是放责，管是政府必须履行的职责，放也不是放任。对那些像假冒伪劣、坑蒙拐骗的行为，那要坚决打击。尤其对一些涉及人民生命健康和众多群众利益的，像食品药品安全生产乃至于金融等领域，要加强监管，违规违法的必须整除。现在新业态、新模式也在不断变化的发展， 但是监管的规律是存在的，我们要不断的完善监管的方式，使我国的市场主体真正在公平公正的环境中发展。谢谢。
When there are good reform measures, a sound business climate, and a larger number of market entities, there will be greater prospects for economic development. That has been true in many places across this country. At the same time, I want to emphasize that we have been attaching equal importance to streamlining administration and enhancing compliance oversight. Streamlining administration does not mean a diminishing in the responsibilities of the people, and delegation of authority shouldn't give rise to regulatory gaps. The government must fully perform its responsibility in exercising supervision and regulation. For malpractices such as counterfeiting or cheating of marketplace, they should be cracked down upon. And regulation in areas concerning people's life and health and public interests like food, drugs, workplace safety, and the financial sector, it should be further stepped up in accordance with the law. There are also burgeoning new forms of industry and new business models. They are continuously developing, and we also need to keep improving our regulatory approaches in these areas so as to ensure that there will always be a level playing field for all market entities to grow.